Drinking water is essential to your health. That's why you need to drink plenty of water to keep you hydrated throughout the day. Unlike power drinks or soft drinks, water is truly the only thing that could fulfill your thirst. It's an easy, refreshing way to keep your body healthy and strong. Freshen up today with a brisk, cool bottle of water. Now that we know the evolution of ocean basins, let's move on to their features and structure. I actually made a structure of an ocean basin myself. So here it is. This is my DIY structure of that ocean basins. The seafloor is subdivided into three distinct regions: continental margins, deep ocean basins, and mid-oceanic ridges. The continental margins represent the submerged ends of the continents, which are composed mostly of granite. It represents 7 to 8% of the total ocean area. Continental margins have components. First is the continental shelf, a shallow and submerged edge of the continent. It extends from roughly 10 kilometers to over 300 kilometers. Though they make up only about 8% of the ocean surface area, continental shelves are the richest part of the ocean, with the most life and the best fishing. The continental shelf ends at the shelf break, where the slope abruptly gets steeper. Continental slope is the area where the seafloor drops steeply at the outer edge of the continental shelf. The slope is much steeper than the other continental shelf. Most underwater canyons cut through the slope because of the currents carrying sediments from the continental slope to the deep sea. Submarine canyons. The continental shelf and the continental slope are usually dissected by the V-shaped depression called submarine canyons that act as channels for downslope transport of sediment. Underwater landslides called turbidity currents currently flow down submarine canyons. The debris settles out to build up a fan-shaped sediment called a submarine fan at the base of the canyon. Now let's go on to the deep ocean basins. The deep sea floor is beyond the continental margin, made up of oceanic crust which is composed mostly of volcanic basalt. Most of the deep sea floor lies at the depth of 3,000 to 5,000 meters, averaging about 4,000 meters. Deep ocean province is between the continental margins and the mid-oceanic ridge. It includes a variety of features such as the abyssal plain, abyssal hills, seamounts, and deep sea trenches. Abyssal plains are broad, flat areas of ocean floor found between the continental margins and the mid-oceanic ridges. Average 4,000 meters deep and coated by sediments. Only sediments of ultra-fine particles and microscopic marine organisms can reach this depth. With the absence of light in this area, there are many exotic creatures that can survive this environment. Abyssal hills are small extinct volcanoes or rock intrusions that poke up through the sediments coating the abyssal plains. Seamounts are steep-sided volcanoes that rise up from the seafloor but which do not stick up above sea level. Mid-oceanic islands rise up from the deep sea floor to the surface due to the hot spots in the crust. Example of this is the Hawaiian island. Guyats are flat-topped seamounts. Today, they occur far below the sea level, But at one time, they were islands that poked up above the surface. They were eroded flat by wave action and then gradually sank downward. Trenches are the deepest part of the seafloor and may be over 10,000 meters deep. They are found at the margins of the crustal plates and formed by subduction, where one plate descends into the mantle below the other plate. The deepest ocean trench is the Mariana Trench, about 11,022 meters deep, located in the western Pacific Ocean. And lastly, we have the Mid-Oceanic Ridge, a continuous chain of volcanic submarine mountains at the end circle of the globe, marking the boundaries of several crustal plates and extending for about 60,000 kilometers around the Earth. These are the areas of the seafloor spreading and the formation of new oceanic crust. They rise 2,000 to 4,000 meters from the ocean floor, and parts sometimes reach the sea surface, forming emergent islands, for example, Iceland. At the center of the ridge, there is a great gap of depression, which is known as the Central Rift Valley. So that's basically the evolution and structure of the ocean basins. I hope you learned something new about this. I recommend searching and watching more videos about ocean basins to fully understand it. It may seem hard, but it's actually not. I'm your Professor Jim, signing off.